Right then, in this video, let's explore more of the Karlsruhe TramTrain system. Now, I did a previous video on this, but this system is so huge, and my previous video didn't even cover much of the system. So let's now go back to Karlsruhe and explore more of this massive tram system. So then, we're back in Karlsruhe to see the TramTrain system. Now, I did a previous video on the really long route between Karlsruhe and Hilbon, and that route is really long, got some very modern tram trains on it, but I want to explore more of the system. It's such an epic system, there's so much interesting bits to it. I had to come back to explore some other parts. We're going to be looking at a different route that goes south of Karlsruhe down into the mountains. Very interesting route where you've got trams going on mainline train tracks deep into the mountains, but that's later in the video. First, we're taking a look at this part north of Karlsruhe, and this part is a bit of mainline track here. You get a few S-Bahns whizzing through, but this part runs the oldest vehicles of the tram train. So this section has some really old vehicles, and they're really interesting. They're going to be replaced very soon. So let's take a ride on a very old vintage tram train. And an interesting thing about this route is, even though this is part of the tram train system, this section of the tram train never goes on to the tram tracks. It stays on the mainline tracks the entire way. So it's effectively a tram train vehicle, so it's a tram, but the entire route is done as a train. So it might as well be an actual train, except it's done with a tram, which just makes it really interesting. Well, it turns out a tram train's delayed because there's a late running intercity train which takes priority. So you got trams and intercity ICE trains on the same tracks. That is just epic. So the front car's the S31 and the rear car's the S32. That's interesting. So this tram's actually going somewhere the other trams don't go, and that's on the mainline tracks into the Hauptbahnhof. It's actually going into the mainline station on the mainline tracks. Which is very weird to see a tram next door to the high-speed train. It's very bizarre, but very interesting. As you can see, look at canopy. We're inside the Hauptbahnhof on a tram. That is just so weird. So we can see over here, you've got trains, you've got a big station, you've got a high-speed train over there. Oh look, what's this random tram doing in amongst all the trains? That is so weird looking, but I really like it. It's so fun at the same time. So let's now take a look at the metro parts of the tram route where they run to underground stations. So let's now take a ride on a very long tram route, 2 hours long, heading south of the city into the mountains. This route's actually got 4 parts to it, which is metro tram, street running tram, mainline train tram, and a rural section into the mountains. So to get to the mountains, we first go on mainline railway section. Speed points, look at that, 60 mile an hour over that. Fucking hell, 60 mile an hour points, that's full speed. Watch how fast this tram travel comes into this. That's really harsh decel, from 60 mile an hour all the way to stopped in one go. And now the route goes deep into the countryside and into the mountains. So, short platform. Each tram train has got 8 sets of doors. On this platform, only 2 sets of doors can open. So for 6-car train, it's 2 units of 3 cars. And for 6-car train, only the first car actually stops. That is crazy. It's the first and third, fourth and 6th car are the only ones with doors. The 2nd and 5th car don't have doors because of the unusual layout. So you have to be in the first carriage to get off here. And if you're in the 2nd unit of the trains, there's 2 3-car units joined together. If you're in the 2nd unit, you've got no chance because you can't walk to the front. But it's absolutely crazy. Is that to request to stop? So cool. Train stop, you have to press that. Stop the train. Oh no, 2nd car half fits on the platform, but you can't get in the 2nd car. So you have to get in the front car. Let's go to front view.
This station here isn't quite long enough for a 6-car tram, but earlier on the other side I actually saw a 9-car tram go past. But that tram's going well over on the platform. There's no way you could fit a 9-car tram in this. Maybe it goes a different route, maybe it goes straight into the Hauptbahnhof and doesn't go around this bit on the 9-car, I don't know. It must do, it can't go through this with 9 cars. How long this tram is, it's a 6-car tram, 2 units.